Hey guys, I'm at a mall area just right around Irvine because I think I'm all I'm conferenced out. I'm done. and so I kind of want to go live to tell myself some notes. Um, and also to just reflect on you know what happens when you go to a conference, and because I'm not like a crazy conference goer, these are the insights I've received from going. I learn that the way I communicate my offers, when you communicate them on a face-to-face level to a bunch of people at a conference all at once, what ends up happening is you start realizing that the way their language and the way they understand what you offer is so different. So there are a lot of times when I'm explaining my offer and someone who comes from another walk of life would be like, wait, how do you explain that? And then I realized, oh my gosh, they don't get it. So I feel like having and I'm gonna be walking a little bit, I feel like going to a conference is so valuable because you're getting the insights of people face to face. And a lot of times we're just really isolated, or we're like talking to a camera, and there's so much insight that's gained from just talking straight to someone who's listening to you and going, that sounds good, I like your offer. And then another point, they're like, wait, like what does this mean and what does that mean? So all in one go, if you go to a live conference, a live event, you are doing a ton of customer research, and you're forced to really take in the advice of all these industry leaders. And they're right in that everything that you need to know is already what you've consumed. And it's, hey everyone, hey Joel, hey Ty, hey Omer, hey Roger. Everything that you need to know is already in the stuff that you've consumed in videos, in courses. The reason why you go to these lives is because you can actually connect with potential customers or connect with people. And the only people who end up really, like, at the beginning buying from you are the people who know you and see you face to face. I've met so many connections, and in a way it validates your messages. So if you want to do the best customer research or like testing, it is to walk out there in the real world and actually be face to face with someone. And the environment that a conference enables you is this safe place where you're surrounded by people who are doing what you're doing, and they are walking the same path you walk. So it's like the safest environment of peers to give you the truthful and honest response to how you come off. And I think that's super valuable. Hey Matthew, hey Moses, hey Frank, I'm glad you're doing better. So yeah, that's an insight. Another insight is, when I was listening to the speakers talk, it hit me that I'm like, wow, we are Kajabi, or a company, a software company, is not just a company. Of course, I mean, that sounds obvious, but what they're doing is they're creating people who are changing lives, and they're trying to pull that from you. They're trying to pull that out of you to show you that you are not someone who is providing a product or a service. You are someone who is spreading your message and becoming an industry leader. You're someone who is changing lives. And at first, when you're thinking of something simple, like, okay, you're creating a course to teach someone something, it can be just productized to a very simple thing like, here's my product, right? But what the environment that Kajabi has created for all these females, yay Frank, you're alive, hey Roger. I know. My own notes. So they're like, hey, you are not only providing a product and providing a course, you are stepping into a role of being a thought leader of your industry and being a person that's a catalyst to changing lives. And in order to change lives, you need to be able to understand these are the components. That mentality is very top level and needs to be the thing that changes first in someone before they're able to and do the step by step that you know ask them to do. So even if you're no matter what you're teaching, no matter what you're showing someone, whether it's an app or whether it's you know, a course to do yoga or whatever it is, the limiting beliefs that we have in us is this is from James Wedmore. Belief equals effect, right? Belief equals cause. That's what we have in our mind. Belief equals effect. Belief equals cause. Like belief equals effect. It's raining. I'm going to tell them, hey, the way you think when it's belief equals effect and belief equals I forgot the second one all of a sudden. But belief equals effect means it's raining, I'm gonna get wet. And when you tell them that and show them that, hey, that's not really true, and you say, okay, if you believe that it's gonna rain and it equals effect, which is you're going to get wet, is that true all the time? And you show them that no, that's not true all the time, because your scenario could be I'm indoors, so I'm not gonna get wet, you know, or I'm in another part of the world and it's raining somewhere else in Thailand or wherever else and I'm not gonna get wet. Then it reframes their mind to the fact that their belief can be changed and molded, and it can be suddenly something different. Kind of like if you're really, really angry, right? Anger equals loud noise, yelling, right? And then you're like, well, what happens when you're really angry and your mom calls you and she's this sweet lady and you're like super angry, but then you get a call from your mom and all of a sudden your emotions and the loudness and the, you know, the thing that would equals that isn't. You pick up the phone and you're calm again and you're talking to your mom, you know? So when you give examples to show your students that their reality, their belief isn't what it is, can be changed, and it's more, then there you know you show them how far it can stretch. Another thing he said was our brain molds we think we live our life like according to our beliefs, but it is really we mold our physical life around our limiting beliefs. So if we think we can't do something, we kind of walk around the way we walk around our life to fit into the idea that we can't do it. So, when you make them realize that that's what they're doing, that the reason why they're not going live or the reason why they're not launching is because they're molding their life around, who am I to express an opinion? Who am I to help someone? Who am I to even try? And that their actions are molded from how they think. Then, anyways, I don't know. I need to like clarify this to myself even, but I believe that James Wedmore, the way that he comes off to me is mentality is very important. You should insert mental examples of how the mind can change in the lessons that we teach, so that when you tell them to actually do something, they will believe they can do it, and then your belief in them is powerful as well, because there was an experiment, it's called the Pygmalion experiment or something, where they took students, a group of students, they would say, oh, these students are low IQ, you know, they're special, they need special education. Another group of students with high IQ, or they say, oh, this group of students has high IQ, and the way their teachers treated them resulted in the outcome of their education. So the students that were treated like as if they were really smart actually did better in school, and the students that were treated like they were stupid did worse. So when I approach it, it just changes the way I approach a course now. Like for me, before a course is, okay, I'm gonna motivate you at the very beginning, I'm gonna give you some mental motivation, right? Hey Matt, and then all the rest of the modules will be like tactical information, because you've already like been mentally motivated at the very beginning. But I don't think that that's the truth. Hey Ella, I think the truth is I think the truth should be little tiny modules of mental motivation right before the module to do, and then the module to do should be short, like 8 minutes, 5 minutes, so that they're mentally motivated, they do the thing because they're super motivated to do so, and then it's a quick win, and then they continue on to the next step. So I don't know, I feel like, anyways, I feel like these course creators who are talking to us on stage actually really care about the result of their students, or try to care, whereas a lot of people make courses and then they realize that only 20% of their students actually finish the course, and then so they have this kind of jaded mentality of like, yeah, 20% of them actually finish, so like, you know, they buy it just to validate their own feelings, just to feel as if they're moving forward. You know, sometimes people purchase stuff just to feel like they're doing something other than nothing, but really if they buy something, they don't do anything, it doesn't change them at all. It's really just a way to feel good. It's just like an action to feel good about yourself, and it's kind of like stress shopping, you know? You could buy a bunch of clothes and then you don't even wear them afterwards, but the act of buying relieves their stress. So, but when I'm like listening to these presenters on the Kajabi stage, it just feels so genuine. Like they honestly want success, and then they honestly want to give you the tactics for the success of their students and how to do it differently. Like before, it used to be, you know, courses are courses, they're everywhere, people buy them all the time, and if there's no result, it's the students' fault because they didn't start and they're lazy. And the way that they make me think now is, no, it's because a lot of people probably structure their course because they might not even realize it in a way that doesn't really move the students forward. And there's you know, there's ladders and ascension ladders and stuff like that. I'm beginning to, before I used to think that, oh, it's another way to make more money from the same people, and that these course creators are just trying to make more money. But then now I'm beginning to see that human beings don't really, like, you can inject them with something quick, some quick win, and then they'll win for a little bit, and then there's, you know, they'll get used to the win and then they'll go down. And when I hear of lifetime value now, I think that it is for life. I think that if you really care, then the journey with them starts with the, you know, the point where they're actually doing something, then they make money. And but their stage of making money you know, is such a baby step to what they could be. And that's why people have bigger packages and masterclass. It's like it provides them the actual real support they need to get to that next level, because like virtual, you know, interaction can only go so far. And I think live interaction is almost necessary, because it's so noisy out there in the world that if you're forced to sit in a room and you paid money and you paid hotel, you paid the plane, then you're forced to really give yourself that value, that time to learn. And I think that's why live events are so powerful, because it isolates you from the world for a little bit and cuts you off for a little bit, because you paid so much to be there that you have no other choice than to pay attention. So to me, I'm beginning to like see that come together, and I'm beginning to see the value ladder as a real value ladder versus a ladder to make people more money. But anyways, this is a note for myself and kind of sharing it with you guys. But I'm gonna go get boba and then I'm gonna drive home. Bye. Yes. Oh, meeting John Chow. John Chow was, you know what's funny about John? He runs at like a freaking 10,000-mile-an-hour brain. When I had lunch with him and Oscar, he went from talking about like spray painting his Tesla with the way you could spray paint it. You could spray paint plastic on it, and then there are some people who are making a good living selling a kit where it's like a YouTube channel and it shows a person how to spray paint the car, and then he'll do a kit, and the kit is just literally like costs like $10 or something, and then they would sell the kit, which is some spray paint bottles, and then plastic paint bottles, and then a rag, and then like a manual. So it's like packaging stuff in a convenient way gives a whole business meaning. And we went from talking about that to like politics, and then jumping to Tesla, to digital, and then he was telling us tips about the way that you plug in this microphone called a squid. And the squid can be, you need to plug in first the squid to the auxiliary of the phone first, and then you plug the auxiliary to the squid second, in order for the recording to actually work out right the way it's intended to. If you plug in the wrong way, like the wrong order, then your sound is fucked up. And then I'm like, what? And then he was just going, he just runs like, it's insane. He jumps from this to that to cooking style to, it's just like non-stop, just different topics non-stop. And then they put a camera on me, because it's a marketing, like Oscar was mic'd up. He had, underneath his shirt he had like a microphone, and so I'm like, you came to this lunch with mic'd up in there. And John, he told me why he moved to Irvine, and he was deciding between Hawaii and Irvine. Irvine has a good school system. He told me about the private school, cost of private school around Irvine, like $30,000 a year for sixth grade. I mean, that's like so much. That's so much money. Like 6th to like 12th grade, $30,000 a year. And oh yeah, and then back to his Tesla. So, and then charging stations, the cost of what Tesla would charge for the decal, which is $1,500. So he went to Home Depot and bought some spray paint for like $10, spray bottles for $10 each, and did it himself with some tape. Yeah, and then that, I don't know, just running like 1,000 miles an hour. I don't know, it's just weird. It's really weird. Matt says he's been on fire for years. Inspired me like 12 years ago. One of the first people to inspire me to learn affiliate marketing. Love the guy. Oh yeah, he's also really funny. Like he, okay, with his camera, he had Oscar record like pushing the straw into the bottle, and his face was so excited. He's like, okay, go, and then and then he was super excited for just like B-roll. I'm like, what? Oh, and then they turned the camera on me and they're like, go pitch your stuff. And I'm like, what, right now? And then they're like, yes. And so I just pitched simple tools, big profits to his camera and then Oscar's camera. And Oscar brought this big DSLR, I think it was like DSLR 500D or something. And I told him I have a 330D, and then they each had like big microphone. I don't know. And I learned that you need to have that microphone because there's a different frequency between like an external microphone that's called the squid and then the microphone of the phone itself that you're recording, and you need to match up the frequency of, you need to calibrate it, and the newer squid self-calibrates and the older squid doesn't. So it's important to pay that extra. He's like, you gotta get this stand because this stand here that clamps on the phone is made of like titanium or some, and he's like, look, no budge. And then he shows anyways, it's just 1,000 miles an hour. I don't understand, but yeah. He was in Russell's Dream 100. Oh yeah, you know what? He actually told me a story. He said that Russell called, not Russell called him, but ClickFunnels called him, and they were like, hey, you should go to Funnel Hacking Live to collect your 2 Comma Club award. And then he was like, what? I don't want to go. Why don't you just mail it to me? Anyways, yeah, John is a character. He's pretty funny. He laughs non-stop, and like he's like excited about the sky, the way he was recording the sky. I don't know, it's just complete non-stop energy, like as if he like, oh, and he woke up at 6 a.m. so he like did some recording YouTube, like coffee in a car. I don't know what that is, and maybe that's on his channel, car in a car with, I don't know, I gotta check it out. But anyways, yeah, it was a very interesting experience. And you know what's funny, you guys? I hear about John Chow in the distance. Like, I didn't realize, like, you know, that a lot of people know him. So in the conference, I was like, oh yeah, today I had lunch with Oscar and John Chow. And then and then a guy that flew into Kajabi from Italy, and his niche is completely just Italian people. He has 300,000 followers just from Italy, and he teaches in Italian. That's it. That's his thing. He teaches business completely in Italian to 300,000 followers, and he does big live events. And he's like, oh yeah, I know John Chow. You know, like, just what the heck? Like, some random dude from Italy was like, oh yeah, I know John Chow. I've been following John Chow. And then yeah, John Chow just goes and eats lunch at this pho place, this Vietnamese restaurant, that because he asked for his followers to vote the restaurant as Yelp, the top Yelp restaurant, they became #1 in their field of like Vietnamese food. And you know what's funny? He told the waiter, he was like, hey, it's because I told people to vote for you guys. That's why you guys are #1. You guys should give us a free meal. We've been going here for 4 years or something, 3 years, and we've only gotten 1 free meal. And then, and the waiter was like, okay, maybe we will give you another free meal. And then he was like, okay. Oh my god. Anyways, it's just non-stop laughing. He's really odd. And then he was like, oh, after this I'm gonna go buy some beef because that's what we're gonna cook today. And he showed the picture of the beef that he needs to go to in the Vietnamese restaurant. They were talking about whether they should go to 99 Ranch. Hey Eric. Oh, amazing, he's genius. Oh my god, I didn't realize that he was that popular. But yeah, he's just, we were just chilling out. We met up at noon and we stayed till 2:30, and yeah, talked about everything. They talked about politics, and I really couldn't keep up because I don't follow a lot of the political news, and they like went deep with it. Oh, and they talk about the UK or all that stuff. So, anyways, it was 1,000 miles an hour, maybe, but it was fun. It was fun. And you know, you can just meet him. Why don't you just, if you think that he's so great, why don't you just go meet him? It's just him eating at this Vietnamese restaurant, you know. Oscar might have not made it, but he made it because I was coming, and he was sick, so he was coughing, and he still made it. But if Oscar didn't make it, it would just be me eating lunch with John. And yeah, anyways, I don't understand how come he's so well known and so many people know him, and you could just go and eat lunch with him. But that's the case. Yeah. I'm like, how come it's just me here? I don't get it. How come everyone knows John and I'm like the only person here and sitting here eating lunch with you guys? But who knows? I don't know. Oh, okay. Hey, Eric. Yeah. Oh, another thing that I did today in the morning, I was thinking, oh, here's another insight from the conference. I realized a lot of people were talking to me because I took that screenshot, and they're like, Kim, like, that's really cool that can happen for you. How, you know? Because I'm in a freaking conference full of course creators, and I take a screenshot of Marcus's and I's, you know, our sales selling a course. And so I'm like, I'm in a room full of course creators, and I'm showing some sales numbers. And you know what's crazy? With Kajabi, no one is on Twitter twittering Kajabi. So because I make that post and I hashtag, the people who are just on Twitter, they're not on Facebook, they notice, they know me. And then now more people approach me. So I went into the conference like not knowing anyone, really knowing one or two people, and then I make a few posts, and then I wear a hat, and then so like now people are coming up to me. And you know what's crazy? What happened was I saw that they really wanted to know how I did it with Marcus, and I'm like, this is, every single time I talk, I tell them techniques about what I'm doing, you know, just recently, and then they're like, wow, those are awesome tips, Kim. This is such information gold. And so this morning I woke up and I'm like, if that's what people want to know, then I can just make a short, like, one module video on how that happened. And you know what's cool? I think with that one module, which is $7, then I can showcase the actual course, the $9.97, on a very non-aggressive backend. I could be like, oh, we managed to do the webinar this way, we launched this way, we managed to have them stay this way, and we managed to do a bot this way. Therefore, is it like I can do one module that shows them all of that, and it's through that module, that $7 thing, they learn about the $9.97 products. They learn about everything. And you know, here's a thing I'm gonna implement too. Okay, for them, the upsell, I'll upsell them to a upsell to a testimonial. So if they give me a testimonial for the $7 course, I'm going to give them my chatbot sequence. That, you know how you can copy and send a sequence. Then I can trade like quick testimonials for their desire to quickly grab the chatbot sequence. And all the templates. I'll say, here's all the templates. All I need in exchange is your testimonial. And so then I can quickly sell the $7 course. I mean, $7 course is already like cheap, already like mindless. And what if my chatbot has the $7 course, the screenshot, and then below it bunch of video testimonials that I've quickly gathered for a one video course that's $7. So it'll be like viral. I mean, I think it'll be viral-ish. Like they'll see the screenshot, and then they'll see proof of concept from people right underneath in video like form. They'll click on it, hear the testimonial, and then buy the $7. When they buy the $7, I showcase the reason why the course, the $9.97 thing itself, is so valuable and so no-brainer that now I've just introduced it to everyone, you know, who buys in the $7. Okay, well, anyways, I think I'm gonna go eat because I'm tired, you guys. Bye. Oh man. I'm gonna go. Bye, Marcus. Oh my gosh, it's such a long day, you guys. I am all just networked out. I'm done. I'm now gonna just chill for a little bit. But bye. Oh, if you want to partner up with me, Marcus and I, for this JV launch, you get $500 for the cut. Just $500. If you have an audience, our webinar converts really well. So if you have an audience, reach out to me. We'll be able to convert 12% of your audience. So just if you bring in like whatever amount, we usually convert around 12%. So anyway, bye. Have a great day. Bye, Aiden.